At the same time, it also fills the OT card. So you are from Greater Accra and OT, correct?
Well, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman, and also Central Region and Ashanti Region.
Okay. John, it looks like you have some presidential ambition.
Oh.
Yes, because because there's going to be vacancy. No, it's a privilege to serve your nation. Don't run away from it. No. Don't run away. You are an actor, a businessman, an MP. Come 2028, there will be vacancy. President Mahama is not contesting again. The field will be open. You are from OT, Greater Accra, Central, and Ashanti. Masa, you speak French. You speak Twi. Oh, you qualify. You are 41. You overqualified. In fact, you will be 44 in your prime age. Wouldn't you consider it?
Mr. Chairman, there are so many seniors ahead of me.
Okay, so not now.
Mr. Chairman, if it's the will of God,
yeah, all right.
Everyone who enters politics aspires to obviously get to the top. If it's
Very
the
well.
will of God for me to get to the top in 2058 or 2064, I will wait.
2058, you'll be... How old would you be in 2058?
Very old.
No doubt. You speak Fanti, that I attest to it because you speak Fanti with me. You do Twi. Is your gun 50-50 or 100%?
My gun is 70-30.
Which of them? The Osu one or La or Gamashi gun?
The Oponglo one. The Oponglo one.
The Oponglo gun?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then your Ewe.
Oh, my Ewe there. Respectfully, I think I'm better than you, small.
Oh, Nyatepea?
Merkui.
Oh. So, you mean you are better than me? Small.
If my answer wouldn't mean you would worry me, then I have to be.
I was for more corporate Rejoice Media TV, so Oshami and subscribe no share. Meeting Eddie DJ Ike, Mr. Ope, a fresh papa padia, and a one Rejoice Fragrant, me battle. Ofa numbers in the goose news, no Nasa Fra, Yabama air freshener. I know ding, day. Nasa air freshener was old, which is a with them own selling eno. Any near me recommended Yama, or Techima, or Bono is Techima, HSA. Baby will be a half full. Sunyai, Cape Coast, Takrade, Kumasi, baby will be ano, or Fanaba now fra. Ye be deliver, rejoice fragrance in be a day, Eddie amount. A idea, I know. Any din cry, born at the phone. To say sebi open for 90. Namum. In so being answered, we are better massy. What I say? Afenyo to us. Afenyo Markins versus John Dumelo. Yeah. Efo.
Oh, Nyatepea.
Merkui.
Oh. So, you mean you are better than me? Small.
If my answer wouldn't mean you would worry me, then I have to be.
Hi. Me say, yes, Amagani Amagashia. Any who Amagahu. Amaga ni Amagashia. Any who Amagahu. Hi. Afenyo Markin akaza yini di 2025 on what me say. Afenyo Markin say any day. The man is so brilliant, kind of funny a bit, kind of teasing you a bit. Or say we mean you any na say was answer to chogum kakra. So when you say, aha, just say, Afenyo Markin a free voter region. John Dumelo as a free voter region. And the one way or the other no, and your politics not chimwa. And come in free the same place. So when you mention, aha, and go share our vetting room. Now say you choose John Dumelo as a deputy minister. So when you mention, aha, and the want to turn on or chair and say, I don't know, focus on the business. Now I know just about politics because Nipo a farmer. Now we business there. Who have a politics? Politics, I'll be minister heading. We won't pay, you won't pay. Just say Afenyo Markin kan na obi sanse na wo hempa na wo fire wutimi babeji seat a ye no yeah just mama Lydia ya owo ya just say ono no odi na MP ahwa na edigigi ani MPP for that sorry kura ye be we ni sa ya waso wagon city na wo John Dumelo wa ba be ya ba beji seat oh seat no woji ye den odi ye den ufiri hi na ba beji sa seat and now why you so be the president John Dumelo to us I say efu I say there be president ni dey obi e wa ambitious so be the president but say there me won crofo di mani me brenti me hwan be 2058 2060 no say na 2058 2068 now wo mfie say was say honestly speaking I'll be so old so I want you to watch the vetting between Afenyo Markins and John Dumelo. Uria for our comment to section na say for our comment here dey eto Afenyo Markins versus John Dumelo. Ay. Mesro mo share video na mo share video na mo subscribe subscribe ya. Eno ni the only way. On say mama nchechiro mu. Obi se subscribe ya o ma iska me pa cho nti se oboa. Obi also subscribe ya o ma iska bia oboa. Mama nka no korechiro. Subscription ne kire say abribia videos na ye no. Oko YouTube na obi pe. DJ me the video beto op obenya. Me ntwa fake because me maka kire me ho say me ndi nyankopon tro me di nipa so ntro. Enti me nsuro nipa me bu nipa pa. Enti se me bu nipa dia ne na nokrenko na wo se me yeden. Me kan ti se ohwe me media no so ane nkrofo be di ntro aka no. Me kan se na etie. Ai ti ope masama umpe masama umpe masem. Ya de na nya me ka kiro me pa kiro. Na mum eye so dia me ma won fom ani nye ye fom. Me kan se na etie ayede e de a kiro. Nipa mpe nokre. Enti wo kan nokre kire nipa eye nipa ya. Ma men ka asem kiro. O subscribe ya. Onya ma yesika. Ya nte credit, ya nte de ente wo hwe. Na mum ne ye ne se wonam baabi asa wokọ afum na wokọ akofa enwa na wokọ akofa na asa wokọ akope enam wafum ukokoduru baabi na wosum fidie na hu se enam wache enam kese ochina so wasen ache nam kese eno de ebi ochina wuntimi mma enti na de mark bi ato wo sa wo ba kokoduru a wo kire nse wonko afum kusum fidie na okoduru a wo hu sa ha na me papa sum fidie na watching nam kese no ananam papa no and it is also subscribe ya sa na chiro and de bia wo bi o WhatsApp na wo be hu ye videos and wo boss anu ayeden wahwe na do comment ayeden aba ana se wo pese wo beduru ho na ana se anami ba beto na won sa aka wo subscribe ya na do nsa agba adoma no so adoma no kire se bell notification and the video to na about phone so me pa to DJ I so the video to nti so nya daje akohwe ye nto credit ye nto hwe nti nipa da sani enka no kranchire nipa no obi aka gu en ko subscribe beti obo ye nto hwe obi a me hack account obi a me ye hwe subscribe na share ne enko Afenyo Markins versus John Dumelo Evo Jafata Afenyo Markins versus John Dumelo. Oga, let's go.
No doubt. You speak Fanti, that I attest to it because you speak Fanti with me. You do three. Gun, is your gun 50-50 or 100%?
My gun is 70-30.
Which of them? The Osu one or La or Gamashi gun?
The Oponglo one. The Oponglo one.
The Oponglo gun?
Yes, please.
Okay. Then your Ewe.
My error there, respectfully, I think I'm better than you small.
Oh, Nyatepea?
Merkui.
Oh. So, you mean you are better than me? Small.
If my answer wouldn't mean you would worry me, then I have to be.
Well, it's unfortunate. Mine was 100%. But when they took me back to Winneba, they Futu, with the Guan language took away the Anlo, and by the time I got to St. Augustine's, that was the first time I met the language again, and it couldn't come again, unfortunately, because I lived in Chame and started my school in Chame. I lived with my grandma, yes, and I could speak Manlo fluent, but I'm trying. I'm trying to build my capacity on that. So help me.
Mr. Chairman, maybe we can take classes together.
Very well. So, and then your French is also 100% or
That's
on
about
pay?
On pay, 20%. Enough to buy something and sell something and...
D'accord.
Merci beaucoup.
And you have said that you work as CEO Melo Foods 2015 July to present, and then KSD Ventures 2014 present CEO. And if I look at the scope of business, the KSD Ventures, you are talking about supply of building materials and production of ice for fresh fish mongers. If you come to the Melo Foods, packaging, distribution of ginger, cabbage and snails, distribution of approximately 50,000 crates of eggs weekly, distribution of 600 kgs of fresh goat meat and beef weekly, engaging over 7,000 smallholder farmers in 11 regions, and overseeing daily activity of 34,000 bed capacity poultry farm. So, you are a poultry farmer?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
How many people do you employ at Melo Foods?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Directly about 10, indirectly over 100.
What about KSD Ventures?
Just 3.
This is a business you own as a sole shareholder?
Sole proprietorship, Mr.
So it's a sole proprietorship?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Business. Okay. Where do you live?
I live in East Legon, Mr. Chairman.
Your rented property or your own property? Family property?
It's a leased property.
Okay, so lease for how long?
For 20 years.
I see. But you've not provided the address here. You only have your postal address.
It was an oversight, sorry.
So would you take the leave of chair to amend those records?
Leave granted, nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
That all the amendments you do, when we are done, you would get it done by your secretariat and furnish same to us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Let me be very honest with you. My first encounter with you, I found you very humble and respectful. Your language, use, and how you carry yourself. What do you say to those out there who may have an otherwise perception about you? Because this our enterprise is driven by perception. Perhaps some utterances we've made in the public space, how we've gone about things and all, drive them into a certain direction. What have you to say to those out there who may not know, as I know, that you are humble and you are respectful? And I would want the records to reflect that this is what I know about you this day. What do you want the public to know about you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman, and thank you for the kind words. Like they say, opinions are like noses. Everybody has them.
That's not an appropriate simile. Opinions are like noses. Please, just...
I'm sorry, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, I mean...
Everyone has a different opinion of other people. And it's just human nature that before you meet somebody, you'd probably have a different perception about them. And I've had that quite a number of times where when people meet me, they'll ask me, or they'll tell me that they didn't know this was how I was and that they had a different perception about me. Some too feel that perhaps because of some movie roles I did, I might be a little bit rude and arrogant and so on and so forth, but I'm far from that. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You've not said anything yet. You've not answered my question. You were only interested in making a case. This is Mr. John Dumelo. Tell us about yourself.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. John Dumelo is a humble and kind man who believes in love, he believes in peace, he believes in humanity, and he has love for everybody. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Are you a Catholic?
A staunch Catholic.
Ah, okay. Do you have a firm belief in the rosary, the power of the rosary?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I have one here. Yes, please.
You brought your rosary?
Yes, please.
Are you familiar with St. Francis of Assisi's prayer?
No, that one I didn't get there.
Pardon?
But listening to you in some of the interviews in the vetting committees, yes, you've had a lot. You always say that prayer.
Lord, make me an instrument of your peace.
Yes, please.
Okay. You may want to read that prayer. I mean, it inspires me a lot. That great saint.
Thank you.
All right. Do you belong to any of the Catholic lodges? You know, the Catholic Church has some fraternal societies. The lodge, the Catholic Church also has lodges. The Knights of St. John's, the Marshal. These are lodges in the church. Do you belong to any of them?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Apart from being a mass servant when I was young, I don't currently belong to any society in the Catholic Church.
Are you a regular
churchgoer?
No, I'm not going to use churchgoer.
Sorry.
Are you an active member of the church? And if so, which parish do you belong?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Just be honest. You've been honest thus far. I mean, just be honest.
When I was in Tema, I entered St. Joseph the Worker Catholic Church.
Before, currently.
No. Okay.
Let's move, because you are the last for the day, correct?
Yes, please.
And we want to finish you quickly.
Thank you.
Currently, where is your parish? You've not been to church for a long time. You know, let's close this matter so that we make progress. You know, let's close this matter and then we make progress.
Mr. Chairman, I currently attend Mary Mother of Good Counsel Church Airport.
Regular?
It depends on your definition of
No,
regular.
okay, so I will define it for you. Do you pay your tithe in the church? They have your records of tithe pay?
My dues, yes, please.
You regularly?
Yes, please.
So, who is the parish priest there?
Mr. Chairman.
No, John,
Mr.
Nagbojidi.
Mr. Chairman.
John, Gojidi. John.
Mr. Chairman.
John.
They just changed him.
Okay. John, the one they just changed. The one who has just been transferred. Give me his name. You know, Archbishop is listening to us. He's watching, and I know many Catholic priests are watching you and I,
yes,
including all the troublesome Catholics.
Yes. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, as Member of Parliament of Ayawaso West Wogon, I do attend several Catholic churches in Ayawaso.
John, you know, you are an honest person.
Yes, so far.
You have your rosary with you.
Yes, please.
We have all sinned.
Yes.
And falling short of the glory of God.
That's true.
Don't do this and that. The man you are going to work with, Eric Opoku,
yes,
he doesn't like this.
Yes, please.
If it is this, it is that.
Yes.
And then just own up, let's move away from there.
Yes, please.
The Mary Magda of Good Counsel.
Yes, please.
That you say you attend.
Yes.
Is that your parish or not? Be honest with me.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I do pay my dues
No, we dues, Catholic dues.
Yes.
Dues at the place.
Church, yes.
What about tithes?
Oh, I pay my tithe.
At the same place?
Yes, please.
But
But I spread it across the other Catholic churches.
No.
As a
Menyo, Amega, Dumega, Mede Kuku now, please. The point is that the father who has just been transferred.
Yes.
Oh, yeah. Are you now his counsel at large? Do you remember the name? The one you say has been transferred?
Mr. Chairman, no, please.
The new one who has come, do you know his name?
No, please. I've forgotten.
Okay. Now, are you familiar with the marshals? The marshallans? Are you familiar with them? Can you say a bit about the marshallans as a fraternal society in the Catholic Church?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I am familiar with them, but I'm not familiar with their dealings.
Okay.
What I do know is that my father was a member of the Knights of St. John's.
Okay.
But apart from that, I don't know anything about them.
Okay, so the Knights of St. John's, you must be a member. Though you are Catholic, before you become a member, you have to be initiated. Yes, not any member of the Catholic Church can enter their assembly, their meetings.
That's true.
And then when you are entering, there's a knock.
Yes.
To identify you as a member.
Yes.
Who has gone through the initiation process. You know that?
Yes, please.
And then there is a handshake, a grip.
Yes.
To identify you as one.
Yes, please.
All right. And that is not unchristian, correct?
Correct, Mr.
Yes.
Chairman.
Yes. So it's a fraternal society within the church.
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
All right. Let me ask you about your referees. You've written 2 names. How do you know the first one?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. The first one has been my friend for over 10 years, and he knows almost everything about me. The second one, too, the same.
When you say the first one has been a friend, specifically what do you mean?
Mr. Chairman, a very good friend.
So you think that a friend with whom you share the same esprit de corps is okay to be your referee? I mean, in your own view.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
I hear you. What about Samuel Dafoe?
Same, Mr. Chairman.
Who is he to you?
He's also a very good friend who I've known for over 10 years.
Okay. What does he do?
He's into oil and gas, Mr. Chairman.
Did you at any point attend KNUST?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
What course did you read?
I studied civil engineering, Mr. Chairman.
Okay, so why did you divert from civil engineering to public administration? Because in your educational background, you didn't list it at all. But in your leadership, you said KNUST, civil engineering student, assistant. You said organizing secretary, civil engineering student, 205 to 206. Then you also said Queen's Hall Planning Committee, 204 to 205. So I just wanted to understand why you were saying KNUST leadership, yet it doesn't have any space in your educational background.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've had a passion for acting and farming for a very long time. And so in my 4th year of KNUST or civil engineering, I had one more paper to write, which I didn't go back to write that paper, and I followed my passion of farming and acting. Hence, that's why I didn't write it in my CV.
Okay, hold on. So, did you leave school in your final year?
I left after my final year.
Oh, so you did the 4-year civil engineering?
Yes, please.
But you had a paper to write?
Yes, please.
Which you did not write?
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Then you left to follow your passion?
Yes, please.
For acting?
Yes, please.
Okay, then yours is better than mine.
Please, I don't know about yours, sir.
Also, I'm ready to share.
Yes, please.
Because I did become level 300. I abandoned UCC and I went to do law because I didn't like accounting.
Okay.
And I was struggling. So I left
Thank you.
and I went to follow my passion of doing law.
Thank you.
So I don't have it in my CV too.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So that's what you did.
Yes, please.
But it's not too late to go and do that one paper to have your degree in civil engineering.
Oh, right now I have 3 other degrees, so I'm okay.
I see.
Yes, please.
It may help. You may try.
Thank you, Mr.
It's just a paper.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now, you have also indicated that your second business, you supply building materials and produce ice for fresh fishmongers. So the ice, have you done a factory to produce the ice?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Yes, please.
Where is that located, please?
Mr. Chairman, is in East Legon.
Okay. Is it at where you live?
Next door.
Next door?
Yes, please.
I see. And you've been paying your taxes for KSD Ventures.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
So with the leave of the chair, you'll be able to furnish us with taxes paid from 2014 to date, correct?
Correct, Mr. Chairman.
Yes.
You can also furnish us with your taxes paid for Melo 2015 to date, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Now, you have stated your name as John Matthew Kofi Seto Dumelo. Is that what you have on your certificate?
Mr. Chairman, on my certificate, I have John Kofi Seto Dumelo.
No, Matthew.
On my certificates, no.
On your date of birth, do you have John Matthew Kofi Seto Dumelo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
On your passport, do you have John Matthew Kofi Seto Dumelo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
On your Ghana card, do you have John Matthew Kofi Seto Dumelo?
No, Mr. Chairman.
What name did you register with the Electoral Commission?
John Kofi Seto Dumelo.
So, in the Gazette and the subsequent communication to Parliament, the name there is what?
John Kofi Seto Dumelo.
Now, the letter communicating your nomination to Parliament, have you had the opportunity to see it?
I have, but I didn't pay attention to the name.
Okay. Does it have Matthew?
I may not recall, Mr. Chairman.
It doesn't. Would you want to take the leave of chair to amend the records? Because you are now going into public office and you don't want unnecessary controversy. This is Ghana. People can be petty. They can get at you on anything. You are now being ushered into this new life where anything goes. So, would you want to change it?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Honorable nominee, I grant you the leave to do so, to put your official name in the right order and revert it back to the committee. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Chair. Honorable nominee, I've been an entrepreneur for the better part of my life. I've had some good experiences. I'm concerned about something and I want to ask you. You've started a nice business, sole proprietor, young man, 1984. You are not yet 40, are you?
Mr. Chairman, I'm 41.
41, very well. You're at your prime age. Okay. And you are doing well. Going into public service, how do you expect this business to survive? Sole proprietorship.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, I've handed all the operations to a new person who is now going to run it henceforth. Thank you.
Honorable nominee, wouldn't you prefer to drop this offer from Mr. President. So you maintain your seat as an MP and build capacity in the private sector. Because from sole proprietorship, you're likely to grow and make it a limited liability company. With the promises in your party's manifesto for agriculture, you can tap into it and expand your business and employ more. Don't you think that is a better option? Then later on in life, you come into public service. I mean, the executive arm of public service. What do you think?
I disagree with you, Mr. Chairman.
Basis of your disagreement?
Mr. Chairman, because it's always a privilege to be called upon by the President of the Republic of Ghana to serve in a capacity. And in this capacity is the Deputy Agric Minister designate. And I want to do that and do that diligently. Thank you.
What do you bring on board? What do you bring on board? Because you are going to meet an astute politician, very knowledgeable. And in fact, if you check Hansard, there is a man to be feared. He argues with facts. And he's not a man to dilly-dally with. To complement him, you must definitely have something on board. What do you bring on board? The country would want to know.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Already I fear him.
But I'm happy you don't fear me. I'm
If you asked about you, I would have answered whether I fear you or not. So
no, I don't want you to ask about me. You go ahead and answer.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I know he's very knowledgeable. I've been listening to him. I've been studying him. And this is a great opportunity to learn under him. Him being an astute politician and a great farmer and somebody who is very knowledgeable in agriculture. I think this is the best opportunity for me to also learn under him and follow that same path. Thank you, sir.
So now, you know your region, OT. How many of you have been nominated for this ministerial, deputy ministerial thing so far?
Mr. Chairman, so far, just one person, Honorable Kofi Adams.
Your home region, OT?
Yes, please.
Oh, so you are a Greater Accra MP. So your nomination fills the Greater Accra space. At the same time, it also fills the OT card. So you are from Greater Accra and OT, correct?
Well, yes, sir. Yes, Mr. Chairman, and also Central Region and Ashanti Region.
Oh, okay. John, it looks like you have some presidential ambition.
Oh.
Yes, because the way, because there's going to be vacancy. No, it's a privilege to serve your nation. Don't run away from it. No. Don't run away. You are an actor, a businessman, an MP. Come 2028, there will be vacancy. President Mahama is not contesting again. The field will be open. You are from OT, Greater Accra, Central, and Ashanti. Masa, you speak French. You speak Twi. Oh, You qualify. You are 41. You overqualified. In fact, you will be 44 in your prime age. Wouldn't you consider it?
Mr. Chairman, there are so many seniors ahead of me.
Okay, so not now.
Mr. Chairman, if it's the will of God,
Yeah, all right.
everyone who enters politics aspires to obviously get to the top. If it's
Very
the will
well.
of God for me to get to the top in 2058 or 2064, I will wait.
2058, you'll be. How old would you be in 2058?
Very old.
Because we are hearing Asedu Nkatia, Julius Debra, Eriko Poku. We are hearing Eriko Poku, Julius Debra, Asedu Nkatia, Asedu Fabako, Asedu Nkatia Fabako, Julius Debra Fabako, Eriko Poku also Fabako.
Leader.
So we just want to be sure.
Leader.
So we can now say John Dumelo also Fabako.
Leader.
Mr. Chairman, I also heard your name.
Don't go there. I'm not on.
Okay, sir.
I'm not on.
Honorable nominee. Just 1 second, leader.
All right. So, John.
I haven't said it. I was just you are leading the nominee into a very dangerous territory. And the Fabako leader, with all due respect, you are completely out of order.
Oh, very well, that's all. John, you know, my posture has always been that when I get it wrong, and I know I've gotten it wrong, it shouldn't take anything away from me to say I'm sorry. It would help me to learn. I try to watch some of my videos when we are done with the chamber work in the night. If I don't do it in the night, I do it in the morning to check what I did the previous day. Was I too harsh? Was I too hard on myself? Did I do it right? Get some friends to straighten me up. When we mount the campaign platform, the rallies, we sometimes slip. Do you agree that we sometimes slip?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Let me open you up generally and see how you would recall some of the excesses, if any. Do you recall anything politically you've said that with the benefit of hindsight you say, oh, I shouldn't have said it this way, particularly so against your opponent, the former member of parliament?
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I remember.
What have you to tell her?
Mr. Chairman, the words I used, I apologized accordingly the day after.
Okay. But they are not on social media.
Mr. Chairman, it's on social media.
No, I mean your apology as well.
It is, Mr. Chairman.
Oh, well done.
Thank you.
Do you have any regrets coming into mainstream politics vis-a-vis the privacy of your business life?
Mr. Chairman, no, please. I don't have any regrets.
John, how would you want to inspire the youth of Ghana? Particularly so, you coming from the area, you know, your constituency is largely of the academia stock, full of academics, students. What do you hope to inspire them with?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, for me, I want to inspire people to be able to follow their passion, follow what they want to do, and do it well. I'm a man of probably many talents. In the movie industry, I think I did quite well. In the business industry, I think I'm doing quite well. And politics, I'm yet to do well. And so when some people look at me, they might be inspired to follow their dreams and follow their passions and make Ghana a better place.
Have you read your party's policy on food and agriculture? Be honest about it.
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
You've read it.
Yes, please.
What's the policy on food and agriculture?
Well, our policy on food and agriculture is simple. It's to just create food sufficiency for Ghana. It's to feed the industry and feed ourselves.
Through which methodology, modeling strategy? How do you hope to achieve that?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. With the feed ourselves, we hope to produce more. We hope to reduce post-harvest losses. We hope to feed the industry, and we hope to feed ourselves and export the rest. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Now, in the process of ensuring food sufficiency, how does this fit into this, your slogan, 24-hour economy?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, Ghana is one country that has just about one farming season. Our policy and our plan is to be able to farm all year round. Now, if you want to farm all year round, that means we would have excess food items available to be able to feed the industry. Now, once we have excess and we are feeding the industry all year round, definitely these industries have to run 24 hours. And so that's how come we'll fit into the 24-hour economy. Thank you, Mr.
So
Chairman.
what is the 24-hour economy? What is the 24-hour economy
Mr. Chairman,
of the NDC?
Mr. Chairman,
Share with us.
the 24-hour economy is one job, 3 shifts, 3 people. We don't see why Ghana should stop working at 5 o'clock. Ghana should continue working. And so if the industries are being fed 24 hours, definitely we need to employ more people. Definitely we need to move the economy forward. And so that is the 24-hour economy.
Which sectors are you going to focus on?
Sorry,
Which sectors of the economy are you going
with
to
the
focus
24-hour
on?
economy?
Yes.
Almost all sectors, sir.
Okay. The nation is listening to you.
Yes, please.
Yeah. So almost all the sectors.
Yes, please.
Oh, I see. Right.
Those that deem it fit to be under the 24-hour economy.
Okay, so there's going to be a modeling program to allow people to fit into it. There's going to be a certain framework, correct?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
When is that framework to be expected? Because you were sworn into office 7 January. Today is 25th of February.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
When should we expect this framework?
Mr. Chairman, the budget is yet to be read, and I'm sure when it's read, the clear guidelines will be outlined there.
So, should we expect a 24-hour economy secretariat at your ministry where companies will be encouraged to register in exchange for some incentives?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. If rightly so, if that becomes very necessary, yes, we would have a 24-hour economy secretariat at the Ministry of Food and Agric. Yes, thank you.
Leader,
Okay, go ahead.
please.
You go ahead. I'm not asking you policy questions.
I said earlier and then before, and you are pretty much a smart guy yourself, and you are aware of this. The nominee is here as a deputy minister designate for the minister. He is not a policy maker. So let's stay away. My advice to you, as my brother, as you do advise me, is that let's stay away from policy issues. Thank you very much, leader. Please, you can continue.
Honorable member for Awutu Senya West. The honorable member is on oath. He is on oath. And all convo must cease. So, explain your earlier answer. I didn't get it because there were some few distractions. No, you. Hey, it's not possible.
Mr. Chairman, please, to which of the questions?
My last question.
About how it will fit into...
Whether in the modeling,
yes,
the framework, yes, there's going to be a desk or a secretariat at the Ministry of Agriculture for those companies, those entities in that sector to apply and to have some incentives as entities under your 24-hour economy.
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, if it deems fit, yes, we might set up a desk.
Wait. In consultation with your boss?
Yes, please.
You are going to do what? I want to understand, because we are recording you.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
It's not enough to be on the rally grounds talking 24-hour economy, 24-hour, to get the youth to vote for you. We are recording, so tell us, 24-hour economy, what in consultation with your minister, tell us what you are going to do.
Mr. Chairman,
yes,
in consultation with my boss, if he so pleases the ministry, we will set up a desk. If it becomes
so
necessary,
if it doesn't please the ministry,
if it becomes
we should forget about, if it doesn't become necessary, we should forget about the 24-hour economy upon which you mounted your campaign and won the 2024 elections, correct?
Correct, if it becomes necessary, sir.
So it may not be necessary to set it up.
And it can be necessary, sir.
Okay, we've taken note. Now, are you aware, and I expect you to be aware because you are dealing in poultry, are you aware that inputs, particularly insecticides, fertilizers, do not enjoy exemption anymore, that the agro industry has to pay for duties on them?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
Now, do you know that this exemption that was denying that sector is really affecting the industry? Because you are a member of that industry.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Once again, one of our slogans was resetting Ghana. And so if it deems fit for us to be able to implement those exemptions now, we will. Because we want to grow Ghana and we want to make Ghana move forward in the right direction. So
you would want to suggest to your minister to bring back the exemptions so that those in the agro industry will enjoy that incentive to make it cheaper for the agro sector.
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, if it becomes necessary, yes.
I'm just reminding you that your party was against tax exemption. In the past. So if you are talking about going to introduce this exemption, then the industry will be happy to receive this incentive. So repeat that assurance so that the records will capture you properly.
Mr. Chairman, it wasn't an assurance. It was, if it becomes necessary, we will implement it. Thank you.
How long have you been a member of the NDC?
Mr. Chairman, since 2008.
Proud to this, were you into politics, MPP?
Mr. Chairman, please, are you asking me if I was ever a member of the MPP?
That MPP as an example. I'm saying proud to this, were you into politics, like say being an MPP member or CPP?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Just decided to take away our seat, which has been our safe seat all these years. John.
Mr. Chairman, I worked hard for it, sir.
Menyolo.
Madakuku.
Now, what should your people in Likpe expect from you as you are going into this ministry? You know, the Oti region, you're so endowed with agro potential. People, the farmers, predominantly farmers, now they've seen that one of their own is going into the ministry. What should the region expect? Oti region. The farmers are listening to you. John Dumelo, the gentle, honest, humble politician. What should they expect from you?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, respectfully, I wouldn't be a Deputy Minister of Agric just for Oti region. I'll be a Deputy Minister of Agric for the whole of Ghana. And there are farmers scattered all across. And so each region and its peculiar needs and wants in terms of agriculture. And so with Oti region, of course, I'm into ginger. They do a lot of ginger. I'll make sure that I support the farmers there. In Volta region, they do a lot of rice. I'll support the farmers there. In the north, they do a lot of tomatoes and onions. I'll support them. I'm supporting all the farmers generally, not just Oti region. Thank you.
John, what is your own personal view of the unemployment situation in our country?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. I think the unemployment problem is a national problem. And we in the NDC, about to reset the country, will make sure that we'll create a lot of employment opportunities, especially in the agri space. And so it's a national problem, and we are here to fix it. We might not be able to fix all, but we'll fix some. Thank you.
Have you become aware of discussions in the public space regarding Ghanaians who are losing their employment as a result of the directive of the Chief of Staff? Have you become aware?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Are some of these your constituents?
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
Have they come to appeal to you to help them get their jobs back?
Mr. Chairman, my understanding is those who lost their jobs are being reviewed. And so those who will be re-employed will be re-employed, and those who will not be re-employed will not be re-employed. And so that's the understanding that I have.
Yes. So what, if you pay attention to me, it will be helpful. However, you have given me some information that your understanding is that those who have lost their jobs, those situations are being reviewed, and those to be taken back will be taken back. Now, don't you think that the appropriate thing, therefore, would have been to keep these guys in employment and finish the review so that you take a final decision after the review, rather than terminating the appointment that they should all go home in their thousands? I say so because you state that some are your constituents and they've come to you.
Mr. Chairman, I don't think so. I think that sometimes when matters are being investigated, they ask you to step aside whilst investigations are going on. And so I think that's the rightful thing they did.
To terminate, to dismiss? Because this is not about step aside, go on some leave of a sort. They say, we've terminated your contract. I mean, that is what it is.
Yes, Mr. Chairman.
So you agree to that?
Yes.
That they should be sacked?
They've
As they have been sacked?
They've not been sacked.
What have they done?
They've been sacked, but they might be recalled upon review.
Okay, so let's stay there a bit. Now, these your constituents who have lost their jobs as a result of this termination, mass dismissal. What have you been telling them as they came to you? What have you been telling them?
Mr. Chairman, I've been telling them to hold on, that everything will be fine.
So far, how many, upon account, have been approaching you?
Not that many.
Go ahead, 100, 200, 150?
Maybe 15. Yes, sir.
Are you aware that the Ministry of Health, Ghana Health Service, that had a lot of nurses posted to rural communities, all of these Ghanaians have been sent home in the name of this review, sacked, and people are suffering at the countryside, in the hinterland. You have passion for humanity, love for humanity. Do you think that these Ghanaians must go through this? Especially those who are not getting healthcare support because the nurses have been fired. And even the schools, that teachers have been fired. And these students in rural communities do not have access to quality teaching.
Mr. Chairman, like I stated earlier on, the appointments will be reviewed and those who will be re-employed will be re-employed.
The nation should expect that whatever review would be fair and not based on partisan consideration.
I believe so, Mr. Chairman.
Now, on your GRA tax certificate, you finished us with your tax certificate. Earlier in the vetting, you told me that you have your taxes paid up to date for both companies. But in your tax certificate, the personal income tax, PIT, we only have your assessment for 2023. And the Commissioner General tells us that 2024 is nil. Why haven't you filed your 2024 taxes?
Mr. Chairman, I think with that I would have to confer with my tax expert to find out why that is so.
Because it's quite, I find it very curious, because without filing for 2024, you couldn't have registered. I don't want to trigger any by-election. Anyway, so can you take the leave of chair to get into this and revert to us at least before we do your report?
Granted. Nominee.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Chairman, at least for the record, let the prayer be made by him.
Honorable nominee, please go ahead.
Please, which prayer? Please, I'd like to request that I provide the necessary documents.
Absolutely.
Thank you.
Absolutely.
No, for the records, the necessary document in respect of your 2024 tax obligation to the state. So make that prayer.
Mr. Chairman, I pledge to provide all the necessary documents with reference to the 2024 tax obligations.
Now, I also note that on your tax clearance, your declaration for 23 is only in respect of KSD Ventures. So the application you made was in reference to KSD Ventures. So do I take it that it's a composite application for all the entities you own?
I believe so, Mr. Chairman.
Very well. Now, this sector, agric, food and agriculture, how do you hope to inspire the youth to get into agriculture? Vis-a-vis incentives to be available. Those who are distracting the nominee, you are close to him, the convo, because I see him paying attention. We don't want him to say, repeat. Please silence on that wing so that the nominee can focus. Yeah. Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, ever since I got into the agric space, or ever since social media became rampant, every time I do a post about agric and making agric look exciting, I've had a lot of engagements. I have had a lot of people wanting to get into the agric space. But what I tell them is that not everybody can be a farmer. And so you have the whole value chain. You have those who farm, you have those who provide transport, you have those who provide agric inputs, you have those who add value to it. And I feel and I believe that ever since I made it very public that I'm into farming, a lot more young people have gotten into agriculture, which is a good thing. Because if you look at the average age of farmers in Ghana, we are talking of over 50, 55 years, which is bad. And so we need more people to get into agriculture. We need more people to drive the agricultural bus. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Do you agree with me that capital is a critical challenge when it comes to agriculture? The young men and women that you want to inspire to get into agriculture, get into farming, especially the graduates, people who are done with uni and moving to office with CVs, that you would want to encourage to get into agriculture. One of their worries will be capital, money, funding. How do you hope to address this?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, in all my engagements across the country when I'm speaking to the youth, I tell them to always start small, and they shouldn't look at the bigger picture. They should look at the bigger picture, but they should always start small. And so if your dream is to have 1,000 cattle, you can start with 1 or 2. If your dream is to have 2,000 goats, just start with 1 or 2. If your dream is to make or add value to whatever it is you're producing, just start with something small and grow with the business. And so yes, I do tell them that you should start small, because most of the time when you start big and you don't have the experience, you are likely to crash. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
So from the NDC's manifesto, particularly your policy on food and agriculture, should the Ghanaian youth be assured that you are going to provide capital as an incentive to support them into agriculture?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Not just capital, but we are focusing more on giving you items to start with, like the Nkukon Kitinkiti project. And so with the Nkukon Kitinkiti project, we are giving you day-old chicks, we are giving you some farm input, we are giving you cages for you to grow with the business. For other engagements like starting your own home farming, we are just going to give you some small capacity building to be able to start. And so it's not just about capital, it's about also capacity building. Thank you.
So when do we expect this? When should we really expect this?
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, we will let the House know, or the whole of Ghana know, when it can commence.
You know, Mr. President, mandate is up to 2028.
Correct.
The 4 years started counting from the 7th of January. So there is no time. Those hardliners will be advising that chase your political opponent. You have to tell them that it's about jobs for the people, not persecution of opponents. Because persecution of opponents seem to have started, but the jobs for the people, not yet. So when the country would want to know, they've heard you on talking about what your opponents have done wrong. They've heard you, but what about your own mandate? When are you going to start? At least give an indication. Your boss is here. Leave can be granted for you to consult him.
Mr. Chairman, in consultation with my boss, we'll let the House know when we can start.
Very well. We'll take you for your word. Now, this women banking, have you heard about it?
Yes, please, Mr. Chairman.
What is it about? What is it about?
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
I've seen one of my mates right behind you. He's giving a signal that we should end soon. But I'm telling him that you're doing well thus far. So it's a basis for the continuation. But we'll be done soon. Don't worry. I know the chiefs have sat for some time.
Thank you, Mr.
But
Chairman.
we'll be done soon.
Thank you.
These are relevant matters for the industry, especially as you are a young man.
Yes, please.
Your campus people would want to know the promises you bring on board in the area you've been nominated for.
Yes, please. Thank you, Mr. Chairman. In the area of agriculture or in the area of business, what we realize is that women are always a formidable force. They are almost always the ones who can do business and do it well. But unfortunately, access to credit or funding is always a problem for them. And that's why the NDC agreed or has agreed to establish the women banking to be able to lend money to women at a relatively lower rate so that they can expand their businesses, they can create more businesses and create more jobs for the economy. Thank you.
So a bank is going to be established, correct?
Rightly so, Mr. Chairman.
With the state as the sole shareholder.
I'm not aware of the modalities, but what I do know is that a facility or a bank will be established to lend money to women.
With branches across the nation?
Rightly so, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. So we have the NEIP, we have MASLOC, we have the Ghana Enterprise Agency. Particularly Ghana Enterprise Agency is providing support to our women. In fact, they created a digitalized platform so effective that you don't even need to know somebody to access that facility. You think that all these are not enough?
No, Mr. Chairman. With the kind of economy that we have, all these are not enough. We still need more.
So the resetting of Ghana, what does it entail at all? The resetting of Ghana. This whole reset, what is it all about? Share with us.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Chairman, unfortunately, in the last 8 years, our economy hasn't been that good. And hasn't been that good. Hence, the need to reset Ghana. Hence the need to reset Ghana in all aspects of the economy.
When you say our economy hasn't been that good, I want to appreciate the context. Are you relating it to the COVID that struck the world, the external shocks vis-a-vis the Russian-Ukraine war, and other external factors, or what? What exactly do you mean by the last 8 years the economy hasn't been that good? I want you to place it in proper context. I want to understand you. Are you referring to the COVID that struck the world, where for a whole year the whole world was in a form of a lockdown, where there was no production, where government had to pay public sector workers even when no revenue has been generated, where GRA could not go out to take taxes, yet every public sector employee was supposed to be paid? Please explain to me what exactly you mean by the last 8 years the economy hasn't been that good.
Mr. Chairman, if you listen to some of the comments made by the past administration, they confirmed and confessed that the economy was bad. And so I'm just reiterating what they said. to say that the economy wasn't that good, hence the need for the NDC to reset Ghana in the right direction.
So, in the general sense of external shocks, is what you mean?
No, Mr. Chairman.
Then, in what sense? I mean, I just need you to.
The external shocks affected everybody.
Right.
But Ghana wasn't able to drive out of it the way we expected them to.
No, explain. I just want to understand.
What I mean is that you mentioned COVID. You
Right.
mentioned Russia, Ukraine. But Russia, Ukraine, and COVID affected almost every country in the world. Some were able to navigate out of it, some couldn't.
Some of the countries that did a successful navigation,
Relatively,
No,
Ghana did poor.
which are, no, it's okay. I'm happy with the conversation. I mean, this is a public discussion and for the records. Share with us those countries that, in your view, and you can limit yourself to the sub-region, those countries in the sub-region that, in your view, they navigated better out of the COVID and met expectation. And unfortunately, Ghana could not. Please.
Mr. Chairman, I'm only repeating what some of your party members said during their campaign time. That
This is the honorable nominee.
yes, sir.
Let's not go into campaign. Now you are a public officer.
Yes.
Okay? Where you rely on data and facts. If you don't want to base your argument on some facts, statistics, and data, then let's retreat and then make progress. But if we are going to say things that people say on campaign platform, even my own party members, as you say, then we cannot make progress as a nation.
Mr. Chairman, let's retreat and make progress, please.
Chairman, that will be all for him.